Now, first of all, let me explain you the first thing, that is coding system. Okay, so in coding system, for example, I am taking Excel file there. This is for explanation purpose only, so that you can easily understand how this computer system works. Okay, so basically we use, here there are different number system, that is binary, octal, decimal, and hexadecimal. So symbols that we use in binary are 0 and 1. Okay, there are two symbols, that is why it is called binary number system. In octal, permitted symbols are 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So whatever number we want to represent in binary, we have to use only these two symbols. And I am going to show you that conversion also, okay, how a particular decimal number is represented in binary number system. So here in decimal we are using 10 numbers, 10 different symbols. That is why it is called decimal number system. Okay, so there are total 10 symbols. In hexadecimal, we are having all 10 symbols of decimal number system. And then next, A capital, B, C, D, E, F. So you can see that there are two. In octal we have, you can see here count. When I selected the range, it is 8. So there are 8 symbols here. 10 symbols are there. Count is 10. Same way here, 16 symbols are there in hexadecimal. So minimum is this one in all number system, and maximum value in binary is 1, octal 7, decimal 9, hexadecimal capital F. Okay, so now let's see how a decimal number is converted into binary. So for example, let's take number 25. So this is decimal 25 in decimal we are going to convert. Okay, so when we are converting one number system into another number system, we have to divide that number, this number, by the base of number system in which we want to convert it. So base of binary number system is 2, since we have two symbols here. So base is 2. Here in octal, base is 8, because 8 symbols are there. In decimal, we have base 10. In hexadecimal, base 16. So this is decimal number, and we are going to convert this number into binary. So we are dividing this by 2. So when we divide 25 by 2, we have 12 as quotient and 1 as remainder. Okay, this is remainder. Okay, this is the number with which we are dividing. Now again we have to divide the quotient by same base. Okay, so now when 12 is divided by 2, it will give answer 6, and remainder is 0. Now again divide it by 2. 6 is divided by 2, then answer will be 3, and remainder is 0. Okay, again divide it by 2, quotient will be 1, and remainder is 1. Okay, like this. 2 ones are 2 plus 1 is 3. Again divide it by 2. Now we cannot divide this by 2, so we are putting 0 here in quotient and 1 in remainder. Okay. Now from bottom to top, we are supposed to write this. That is 11 0 0 1 11 0 0 1. So when we want to give input 25 to computer, then that signal is going into this form. This is 1 1 0 0 1. So 1 means what? On, then off, and on. So this is how computer takes input. So this is conversion of decimal to binary number system. Now we are going ahead. So now we are going to work with images in HTML. Title I am giving to images. Then head close. Then body part. Now here we are going to insert an image in content window, not in body background. Okay. So we are going to use img tag, that is image, then space src. Src is source. Okay. So this is element name. Element that we are using is img, and in that src attribute we are using. This src attribute we are using to give location of image that we want to place in our document. Now we are going to find one image, and for example this is one image, jpg image. So right click on this image, go to properties. Okay, these are image properties. So copy this name. Earlier I have told you that if the file that we are creating and the file that we are linking in our HTML file both are on in same folder, okay, at that time we don't require this location, whole location, but we can simply copy paste name of file and extension of that file. So right now the file that we are creating, I am going to save on desktop, and this image I am taking is on desktop, so I am taking this relative address. So relative address is nothing but name of file and extension only. So extension here is .jpg. This is type of file. It is showing extension. So this extension is jpg. jpg. Okay. Now in this coding we have inserted image only, nothing else. No text and no br, hr, pre-formatted, nothing. Okay. Now we are going to save this file with a particular name, for example image.html. Okay, so this is extension of that file, and this is name of file, and in between the separator is period sign, that is dot. This is the file that we have recently created. So double click on this. Now you can see that image is there. Okay, and images was my title for this page. So images, you can see here that name, and this is image that we have inserted using img element, and src is attribute of that img tag to locate the image. Now we are going to create this type of output. Let's see that image with some information. Okay, so for example I am writing h1 school. As soon as we edit our page, I am going to save it, and we are going to see output. So a file saved. Okay, now refresh it. Okay, now this is school, that is heading. This is image. Now below that image we are going to type something about this school. Okay, so here in coding you can see that something is written in H1 only, chocolates are good for health and etc. But we are going to use another heading, that is H2 for example, because H1 we have used for heading of that image. So yeah, I will type this. I'm closing this tag. I'm saving the file and refreshing this page. Okay, like this. So this way you can give information in your web page. Like for example, if you are creating a web page to show uh, places to visit in Ahmedabad, at that time you can write name of place, you can include an image of that place, and you can write history or actions about that place. So this way we can create a web page with images. Okay, so there are one, two, three pages are there. Now you can see that something is underlined, okay, in that output, but that is not part of link. So to underline this, we can use this U here. That is for underline. We have seen this in basic formatting text: bold, italics, underline, italics, strike, superscript, subscript, like that. So now refresh it. Now you are getting that underlined. And now we are going to learn some more attributes of image tag. For example, by default, all images are left aligned. So here in our output, this image is bigger and it is almost occupying full screen size. So if we want to give information about 3 or 4 different categories, at that time we will have scroll bar here. Okay, but to occupy everything in one single screen, we have to decrease size of this image. So there are attributes for doing that. So we are going to use that. So first of all, let's learn about ALT, attribute of image. ALT stands for alternate. That is alternate. So in image source, after that SRC image source, now after this value of this first attribute, that is SRC, leave one space, type ALT and is equal to, and type something here. For example, I am typing school. So this is what this ALT attributes will work when a web browser is not able to display this image. Okay, so when a web browser is not able to display image, at that time, if this ALT attribute is not used, so you will get that a cross sign, okay, multiplication like sign in red color. But to show something like about what this image is, we can use ALT, that is alternate text. So when this image is not displayed on browser, this text will appear in its place. Okay, so click on file, save, go to browser and refresh. Now since our browser is supporting this image, we are not getting that ALT text. Okay, but in case when this image is not loaded on web browser, then only that will appear on browser screen. Next attribute is height and width. Okay, now as I told you earlier that if we want to accommodate 3 or 4 such images in one single page, at that time we have to resize this image. So this is height and this is width. Okay, so we are going to use those attributes. So after ALT attribute and its value, leave one space, that is this space is there, height is equal to, for example, I am keeping it 300, and then width is equal to, for example, 500 I am keeping. Now you can see this I use numerical value. So this numerical value is what? This is amount in number of pixels. This is 300 pixels, this is 500 pixels. So now I am refreshing this. So this picture is 300 pixels in height and 500 pixels in width. Same thing you can give like this: 30%, 50%. So now we are taking value in percent. That means what? Okay, we are using relative size of screen. That is 30% of screen height and 50% of screen width for this image. Okay, now it will look like this. This is 30% of total screen size which is visible, and this is 50% of width. Okay, so you can use any single method. So the first one was better one, so I am changing it again. Okay, so this is height and width attribute, and values you can give in numbers itself and percentage, that is relative size of screen. Now comes align attribute. So you can see that if you do not use align attribute, your image will be left aligned. So now we want to make it centered. So center itself is an element also. So when you write it before and after a text or any object like image or any file, then it will get centered. Okay, so I am right now using that. Okay, now see the values. Okay, it is relative. Okay, this align attribute can take one of the values, that is top. It is the image is aligned at the top of the current line of text. So current line of text is, for example, I am writing school here again, Nelson. Okay, okay, now you can see that this is text and this is image. So this image is middle aligned with this text. Next is top. Okay, let's make it top, this align. Save it, output F5. Okay, so now that image is top aligned to that text. Then bottom, now that text will be on top and image will be bottom aligned. That is, this condition will be reversed now. Okay, this is with the baseline of current line of text. So current line of text and this baseline of this image, bottom line, this is aligned. Now left and right. Okay, like this. And now we are making it right. Okay, like this. So these are attributes of align attribute in image tag itself. Now border. Now you can see this. There is no border around image. It is in its row form. So border attribute we can use here after this last one. For example, I am making this left again, and then border equal to some value. Okay, that is, for example, 1. Now you can see a thin border around this image. If you want to make it thicker one, you can increase this value. For example, now I'm making it 5. Save the file, go to output. This is F5. Okay, so you can increase this value to according to your requirement. It comes ID, that is identifier. That is identifier is name of for that image. It is related to the document. Now this identifier can be referred by the identifier in a script written in programming language such as Java. When we want to apply JavaScript for interactivity in our website or web page, at that time this ID of our image we can use there. Okay, so this image will be referred with this name in that JavaScript. So JavaScript right now we are not including in this HTML page. Now from HSpace and VSpace, that is horizontal space and vertical space, that for example you can see here. Now this is space, okay, and this is one space. So to increase or decrease this space around image and other image or other text, we can use this attribute, that is horizontal space and vertical space